every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides on political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Olajumoke Olatuju. In a major story, the federal government says there is no going back on the September 15 deadline for the implementation of the Treasury single account. Also in this program, Northern Governors Forum urges Nigerians to unite in the fight against injustice and corruption. Emergency workers confirm 7 people dead in bomb attack on IDP's camp in Yola. And outside Nigeria, scores killed as crane collapsed in Saudi Arabia and pilgrims entering Grand Mosque in Makkah. Many thanks for joining us tonight. The federal government has ruled out the possibility of shifting the deadline for all ministries, departments and agencies to comply with the presidential directive on Treasury's single account. In a statement issued by the Deputy Director at the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, K.N. Ofi, in Abuja on Friday, the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, said the Tuesday deadline was realistic, achievable and not subject to postponement. According to him, all MDAs should close all accounts with the commercial banks on or before the deadline. It just said that implementation guidelines has been developed and will soon be made available to all interested parties and the general public. He said the OAGF, in line with the statutory mandates and directives, would continue to provide all necessary information and technical support to all MDAs, banks and the general public to ensure a smooth, seamless and transparent implementation of the TSA e-collection policy. President Muhammadu Buhari had recently given all MDAs a September 15 deadline to comply with the Treasury Single Accounts Directive. The directive requires all MDAs to pay all revenues and monies accruing to the government into a federal sub-treasury account maintained by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Northern Governors Forum wants Nigerians to be united against injustice and corruption in the country. Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima said this at a news conference preceding the governors' meeting in Kaduna. The governor, who spoke in his capacity as chairman of the forum, lamented that Nigeria is now seen as a country where corruption, unemployment and insurgency thrive.
I can see the signs of sincere effort and genuine optimism to draw strength in our diversity and change the narrative of our troubled history in the interest of our region's history and indeed the rest of Nigeria. As leaders of our people at this crucial epoch of our history, and democratically elected ones at that, we are left with no choice but to rise up to the occasion and live up to the people's perfectly understandable expectations. We must seize this moment, for history is beckoning at us.
In Osun State, the workers have thrown their support behind President Buhari's anti-graft war to wipe out corruption from the Niger system. All labor union leaders in the state have unanimously agreed that unless the corruption has been wiped out completely, the nation will remain underdeveloped. Workers in the state have joined their colleagues across the nation to map out campaign against corrupt practices in the government circle, civil servants, private sector and society in general. The Osun workers equally disagreed with the Osun State Governor Rauf Arabushala, whom they expected to clear all the outstanding salaries of workers, but assumed his body language does not indicate his willingness.
corruption drive of our president is holistic. It's not just financial, it's total. Since our advent here, we have committed ourselves to instilling the spirit of Omoluabi, which means it's good. The area you have touched is not an area we can explore in an open field like this.
Yesterday, sir, Your Honor, Head went on here to say that he's giving order that we are going to receive a month's salary or half salary for state workers and 3 months half salary for local government workers. We said our own dear governor have never sent you.
The anti-corruption rally held nationwide by organized labor unions also birthed in Ekiti State, but not without some drama. The Ekiti State Governor Adele Fayose passed the rally as a jamboree while accusing labor leaders of connivance with the political class to loot the nation. The labor rally, however, passed the message of reduction in the cost of governance and politicians to shun corrupt practices. Our correspondent Rashid has more. We'll bring you details of that report subsequently. Now, Governor of Plateau State, Simi Lalong, has blamed the anti-graft agencies for the delay his administration is experiencing in its attempt to recover the past administration's loot. Lalong, who was speaking in Rayfield Jazz, stated that although the state government has presented compelling evidence of stolen monies belonging to the state, he wonders why the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is taking so long in recovering them. The report is presented from our studios.
Governor Simon Lalong, who had earlier given 2 weeks ultimatum last month to alleged looters from the past administration of Jonah Jang to return their booty or face the wrath of his administration, has now blamed the EFCC for not assisting the state enough to recover its loot. He called on the anti-graft agency to, as a matter of urgency, swing into action and apprehend those that have been reported to it.
The Deputy Governor made reference to it in his transition report. But for that, we have written to EFCC clearly the evidence, and we've asked them to investigate. Maybe the delay now is from EFCC. If they delay this week, I'm going to remind them that we cannot continue to have a delay. It's not the normal EFCC. Because with clear evidence, they would have gone in. EFCC had the cause to arrest some of us when there were no evidence.
The SAT administrator lamented that the names of those involved in looting the state treasury have been submitted with evidences to the anti-graft body and hoped that they will do the needful soon in assisting the state to recover its stolen wealth.
In a circumstance where a federal allocation came for local government for 2 months, and that salary, those salaries just got missing. Is that not naked stealing? How can salary get missing? The salaries were meant to be taken to local governments. At the level of local government, if they were missing at the local government, we will understand. But from the state, 2 months' salaries belonging to local governments were missing in the bank.
Lalong added that salaries and civil servants' welfare have become difficult due to the loot, and that the children of workers are finding it difficult to access good schools and medical provision.
The All Progressives Grand Alliance has named Umar Goodman as its governorship candidate in November 21 election in Kogi State. Afghan National Chairman Victor Oye said that shortly after the candidate picked its nomination forms and was endorsed at the party's secretariat in Abuja. He insisted that the party's choice is the man to beat by the leading candidate whom he described in glowing terms.
We have chosen him from the multitude of aspirants as the best we can offer to the people of Kogi State. Our activities in Kogi of recent show that we are ready to win that state. On November 21, we're going to win the governorship election. While PDP is hemorrhaging, APC is asphyxiating. ABGA is the only party with a clean bill of health in Kogi State today is the only viable alternative for the people of Kogi State.
We are out to save a people. The place called Kogi is as rotten as that of an egg, which is of no value to anybody. The next thing you have from it is to emit stains. Everywhere we polluted. They have polluted Kogi, crooks and criminals in the other political parties. You can't tell me that you will screen 30 people and 30 people survive will screen through the screening even when they are not meant to screen through.
Emergency workers say 7 people were killed in Friday's explosion at the Malkohi IDP camp in Yola, Adamawa State. At least 20 others, including relief workers, were also injured. The National Emergency Management Agency said in a statement that 7 out of the injured persons have since been discharged from hospital, while 13 others are still receiving treatment. The bomb, which is said to have been planted in a tent, went off at about 10:50 a.m. in the morning. Meanwhile, 5 persons were also killed in a bomb blast in Madagali in Adamawa State. The Executive Secretary of Adamawa State Emergency Management Agency, Haruna Furu, discussed this to journalists in an interview on Friday. She said several other persons were injured in the attack. Furu said the bomb was detonated by a female suicide bomber who died in the attack along with 4 others, and also led to varying degrees of injuries to several others. Furu also confirmed that the incidents occurred at Madagali Market on Friday morning at almost the same time the Malkohi internally displaced persons camp attack occurred. Subsequently, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has expressed sadness at the bombing of the Yola IDP camp, in which several lives were lost and many persons injured. In a press statement released by his media office in Abuja on Friday, the former Vice President said the bombing could only have been planned and executed by persons with hearts of evil. Atiku said it was pathetic that the bombers targeted at thousands of vulnerable people, mainly for Borno and Yobe, who were seeking refuge in the camp. He, however, expressed the conviction that Nigeria will win the war against terrorism in spite of such acts. This is still CoreTV Primetime News. We will be back with more stories after this break.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Because some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man. We don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
If you're just joining us, this is CoreTV Primetime News. A quick reminder of a major story. Federal government says there is no going back on the September 15 deadline for the implementation of the Treasury single account. Northern Governors Forum urges Nigerians to unite in the fight against injustice and corruption. Emergency workers confirm 7 people died in bomb attack on IDP's camp in Yola. For more news and other programs, please visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can follow us on Twitter at CoreTV News NG. Also visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, the news. The Nigerian Air Force has been rotating members of its ground forces fighting alongside the troops of the Nigerian Army at the front line in the past 6 months. Spokesman for the Air Force, Dele Alonge, said in a statement that the latest troop rotation is in line with usual practice. He explained that it was aimed at reinvigorating the minds of the personnel and their commitment to the ongoing fight against the Boko Haram terrorists. The Air Force spokesman also stated that the subsisting troops have been airlifted from the theater of operation to their various units. The police in the Federal Capital Territory have arrested 9 robbery suspects who had been disguising as cab operators to rob unsuspecting passengers of their valuables in the FCT and its environs. Police spokesman Anjugure Manza disclosed this in a statement issued in Abuja on Friday. The police said the arrest was as a result of the renewed efforts of the command to rid the territory of hoodlums. He added that the FCT police have also busted a notorious armed robbery syndicate and recovered arms and ammunition from them. The police spokesman revealed that the suspects were arrested after a gun battle in the Lugbe area. Moving on, anti-graft operators have arrested a staff of the National Biotechnology Development Agency who attempted to dupe a national agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control contractor, Lucida Global Services Limited, on the pretext that he can help kill a pending EFCC investigation. The suspected fraudster, Samson Irefin, was picked up in the early hours of Friday in the premises of a New Generation Bank in Abuja, as he attempted to collect the 500,000 naira which he had demanded from his victim to kill the case. EFCC said in a statement that the sting operation was made possible by the courage of the would-be victim who contacted the commission after the approach was made. The commission plans to charge the suspect to court after investigation is concluded. The popular Poly Iyagbe Road serves as a major route used by residents and students in Imo State to access the Federal Polytechnic Nekede and Federal University of Technology is now a dead end to motorists. Our correspondent, Ajibadia Wofeso, who has been monitoring the way at which the road is deteriorating, files in this report.
The popular Poly Iyagbe Road that serves as a major route used by residents and students in the state to access the Federal Polytechnic Nekede and Federal University of Technology is now a dead end to motorists. The people of Nekede for some times now have been lamenting over bad roads. Survey within the community shows that not even one road is good within it. According to the people, they wondered if they are part of the state or not.
It's a disgrace. It's a shame. Okay. It's a shame. Why I say it's a shame is this: we voted a group of people into power. Yes. And it's a disgrace that we are swimming on pool to go wherever we are going. Some days ago, some people are going to Tokyo for industry, something industry. You will be allowed to go to Tokyo. You will be allowed to live, to go and learn what you are going to bring back. Nobody can pass road.
Yeah, we have 2 federal universities here. This is Futo, this is Nekede Poly. These 2 schools now will attract investors, businessmen to come and invest. We have empty land, we have things that will make business grow here. So because of these roads, if you call someone to come and invest or do some business here, they will tell you that Nekede Iyagbe Road, there is no road there. They don't want to state whereby their motor will spoil or something like that.
Some of them seems not happy with the governor's gesture towards the road. They said it appears their own vote has turned against them.
You don't need to be told what to be done, for Christ's sake. A governor knows his people is traveling left and right. A governor knows there's a road called Futo Road or Poly Road. If he doesn't come this way, his assistants, his people, commissioners, although we don't have commissioners, we don't have anybody, only governor. He's the commissioner, he's the local government chairman, he's the TC chairman, he is everything. He should know that people are suffering. People are dying. If you put your car on the road, go and come, you lose your car. Tomorrow you are standing for Keke, you enter Keke, they rob you inside the Keke. You enter Okada, they rob you inside Okada. What are we for? Democracy or something else? We are dying, people are dying.
Effort made to get the government's view proves abortive, as none wish to talk on it. With refuge blocking and obstructing the waterways, The road conditions certainly will continue to degenerate on a daily basis. Drastic measures is however required by the government to correct the wrong as soon as possible. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
The Plateau State Governor, Simi Lalang, has appointed 12 new permanent secretaries into the Plateau State civil servants. Our Plateau State correspondent files on this report is presented from our studios.
After laying off 7 permanent secretaries and demoting 17 others, the Plateau State Governor Simon Lalang has appointed 12 new permanent secretaries into the Plateau State Civil Service. The governor corrected the assertion of being slow in constituting his cabinet, stating that he's taken a cue from President Buhari so as to place round pegs in round holes.
Your portfolios and responsibilities. Let me reiterate that our underlying philosophical approach to development is people-oriented and people-centered. This implies that our policies, being a deliberate course of action to achieve set goals for the common good of the people, cannot be handled with impunity. Their performance in the short, medium, and long terms will be measured through laid down timelines for our 5-point agenda, which you should acquaint yourself with. On this note, I congratulate and welcome the new permanent secretaries into their new responsibilities and look forward to their valued contribution to the rescue project. Time is of essence. You therefore must be alert to critically think out solutions on how to implement the rescue mandate to meet up the expectations of the people of Plateau.
While speaking on behalf of the newly appointed permanent secretaries, Stephen Gordon called on the timid supporters of the administration to continue to pray for them to succeed in order to ensure that every decision taken is people-centered.
We don't intend to disappoint anybody in this hall and in the state. Because your presence here, apart from being a solidarity, it is the desired pressure on us to do that which is right. And therefore, we fall back on you again for prayers. That with your prayers and with your physical advices, we will do that which is right for the benefit of the people of Plateau State. Mr. Governor, we thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Those who attended the swearing-in ceremony added their voice to the call for patience, stating that Governor Lalang will deliver on his mandate.
This governor is a man who places round pegs in round holes. You can see from what he has just done today. He is somebody who doesn't work on assumptions, on rumor, on side talks. He goes directly to where the issue is really boiling, and he brings the thing down to the board, exactly as he first said.
Now in Benue State, where the governor's Tamil Autumn is seeking federal government intervention towards improving the standard of education, especially at the tertiary level in the state. He was speaking during a courtesy visit to the Executive Secretary, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, Sulaiman Bogoro in Abuja. The governor also assured TET Fund officials that any funds made available will be well utilized.
While appreciating and thanking you for all that you have done, we still want you to continue to support us so that the impact will be felt more.
I was not surprised. His Excellency said whatever is possible that we can do to support the strong agricultural foundation in Yande from TET Fund, we'll be glad to do so. They have a College of Agri. Unfortunately, it is a monotechnic. We cannot, by law, intervene or support the College of Agri there. But if either the Federal University of Agri has special relationships, and particularly research collaboration with Yandev, the College of Agri, or anything in Yandev, we can legitimately put money there from TED Fund.
For business news, there are strong indications that the injection of over $338 billion in the economy by the Central Bank of Nigeria in the form of Workers' Assistance Scheme for the state, popularly known as bailouts, would help to boost the country's gross domestic product as cash-strapped workers across the country make up for lost time by increasing spending. The bailouts, which began last week, will, according to analysts, result in the reflation of the economy by improving money supply, increase household spending, and help to reverse the slowdown in economic activities nationwide. Analysts believe that apart from the central objective of reducing suffering and improving the welfare of workers and their families in the affected states, the bailout was one of the core strategies of the Buhari administration to achieve an uptick in economic activity after the slowness precipitated by the pre- and post-election periods. The components of the three-pronged package included a sharing of $2.1 billion by the three tiers of government sourced from liquefied natural gas, proceeds to the Federation account, the restructuring of state debt services payment by the Debt Management Office, as well as CBN's Special Intervention Fund, a low-interest loan for the sole purpose of paying backlog of salaries. It is further estimated that by the end of this month, all backlogs of salaries nationwide would have been cleared. The new Controller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Martin Zabeshi, has ordered the immediate suspension of inspection of immigration documents by its officers and has also redeployed all chief passport officers nationwide. Inspection of the documents of companies is one of the main functions of immigration under the Directorate of Investigation, Inspection and Enforcement as contained in the Extant Rules Nigeria Immigration Service of 1953 as amended in 2015, and the objective is to ensure that companies document the actual things they do. Abacha made this known in his maiden visit to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos on Thursday, stressing that the service had received several complaints of visitations to companies, particularly in Lagos by the Service Command, under the guise of inspecting companies' documents. He further explained that the officers most times carried out their duties in a non-professional manner, which soiled the image of NIS before the public. He further stressed that following the complaint, NIS had immediately suspended such inspections until it would produce a new template for the exercise. Abacha further informed that the service would at any moment from now carry out a comprehensive evaluation of its officers vis-a-vis their skills to ensure that they had the capacity to occupy the various offices they are deployed to, while also insisting on professionalism across board. And outside Nigeria, at least 87 people have been killed and 183 others injured after a crane collapsed in Mecca's Grand Mosque on Friday, according to Saudi Arabia's City Defense Authority. Pictures circulating on social media showed pilgrims in body drops and masses of debris from a part of the crane that seemed to have crashed through a ceiling. Mecca is Islam's holiest site. Pilgrims from across the world have been converging on the city, and the mosque for the annual Hajj pilgrimage will start since September 21st. From New York City to Shanksville, PA, from the White House to baseball stadiums around the nation, America will pause once again Friday to mark the 14th Pandemic anniversary of the September 11, 2001 terror attacks that killed nearly 3,000 people. The largest ceremony will take place at the National September 11 Memorial, a museum near the site of the World Trade Center's Twin Towers, which were brought down when two hijacked passengers jets slammed into them. Families of the victims gather at the Memorial's Plaza for what has become a tradition of tolling bells, observing moments of silence, and reading the names of those who died. The plaza is reserved for victims' relatives and invited guests for the morning ceremony, but will be open for the public to pay their respects in the afternoon. An estimated 20,000 people flocked to the site last year, the first year the public was able to visit on the anniversary. The Flight 93 National Memorial near Shanksville in western Pennsylvania is marking the completion of its visitor center, which opened to the public on Thursday. At the Pentagon, Secretary of Defense Ash Carter and other officials will join in remembrances for victims' relatives and Pentagon employees. President Obama also observed the moment of silence of the First Lady and White House staff for the mansion's South Lawn before visiting Fort Meade in Maryland in recognition of the military's work to protect the country. And in sports, Manchester United goalkeeper David De Gea has signed a new 4-year contract with the club. The 24-year-old Spain international almost joined Real Madrid on transfer deadline day, but the necessary paperwork was not submitted in time. De Gea's previous contract was set to expire in June 2016, and the new deal includes an option for a further year. Rooney is set aside to still in the spotlight from Manchester United new boy Anthony Martial when England's freshly crowned record goal scorer returns to Premier League action in Saturday's clash with bitter rivals Liverpool. Rooney passed Bobby Charlton as England's most prolific marksman when he netted his 50th international goal with a powerful penalty in Tuesday's 2-0 win over Switzerland at Wembley. It was a much-needed jolt of confidence for Rooney, whose only goals in United colours this term have come in Champions League road of Club Brugge. The 29-year-old hopes his memorable milestone provides a springboard for a dynamic display against Liverpool at Old Trafford and ideally an end to his 10-match goalless run in the Premier League that stretches back to April. The Nevada State Athletic Commission, NSAC, has confirmed that Floyd Mayweather did not follow the rules correctly when seeking approval for an intravenous drip before his victory over Manny Pacquiao. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency gave retrospective permission after Mayweather had the drip of salad and vitamins on the eve of his 2 May fight. But the NSAC only says it could approve the drip and not USADA. Pacquiao wants a rematch, according to the AFP news agency. But the USADA said it granted unbeaten American Mayweather 38 a therapeutic use exemption for the infusion in accordance with NSAC regulations. And in entertainment, the National Orientation Agency wants the National Archives to preserve the legacies of the late Dan Maria Jos by immortalizing him. Director General of the agency, Mike O'Mara, made the suggestion when he received members of the North Central Zone of Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria, PMAN, in Abuja. NOA spokesman Paul Odenye said in a statement that the agency pleaded support for any plans to immortalize the music legend. Zona President Piman Samachis Solomon had earlier informed the NOA management of plans for a grand concert scheduled for November in honor of Dan Maria Jos in Abuja. Well, that's a wrap on CoreTV Primetime News, but before we go, a quick reminder of our major stories. Federal government says there is no going back on the September 15 deadline for the implementation of the Treasury's single account. Northern Governors Forum urges Nigerians to unite in the fight against injustice and corruption. Emergency workers confirm 7 people dead in bomb attack on IDP camps in Yola. Many thanks for staying through with us. I am Olajimoke Olatiji. You do have a wonderful night rest.